Okay, so in problem number 1 on this quiz, all you need to do, it says write the equation of the line passing through the slope 4 and the point 3, 1. So we want the equation. Notice that the equation is in point slope form. And the point slope form that we're using is y equals m parentheses x minus h and then plus k. So on the point, we have h and k, and the slope, which is 4. So just substitute the slope. Let me use another color. The slope is 4. The h, you always put the opposite of whatever the h is 3, so it's minus 3, and the k is 1. So that is C. And problem number 2 says determine whether the pair of lines are parallel, intersecting, coincide. Parallel have the same slope. Intersecting, they have different slopes, could be different y-intercepts. And coincide is same slopes, same y-intercepts. So what you need to do is use the equation that is given and then solve for y. So the equation is 4x minus y equals negative 3. Here I can just move the 4x to the right side, and then you just rewrite the equation. The equation would be negative y equals, put the x term first and then put the number. Then you divide by negative to make that y positive, or you can just multiply by negative, okay? So then that would be y equals positive 4x and then plus 3. By the way, and I'm going to mention this here, okay? If you want me to replace that quiz grade with a test, make sure you have the corrections ready to be turned in tomorrow to me, staple to the quiz. So the corrections to be done on a separate sheet of paper. You can still pick up that grade, and you can pick it up to an 80. Instead of a 70, I'm giving you a chance to pick it up to an 80. For everybody is taking the test.
So just corrections, right? We don't have to write down the entire question.
You have to copy the question, you have to show the work and indicate, this is number 2, and then you work it out. And just what you got wrong, yes, okay? So, then, let me go back. Now I look at the equation, God bless you. On the equations, I have the slope on the first one that is negative 2, and on this one that is 4. So do they have the same slope? No. Do they have, so then it's not parallel, no same slope. So it's not parallel, it's not coincide. Therefore, it would be just intersecting. Yes.
How do you turn it into a positive?
The negative y, you can just multiply everything by negative 1. So that way you can make all of them different signs. So it's positive y, positive, and positive 3. Or you could also have divided every single one by negative 1. That's another way of doing it, okay? Divided by negative 1? Sure, you can do that too. Okay, the same thing you have to do for number 3. So on the second equation, let me just work it out. 4x minus y equals negative 1. So it's negative 4x. Get in the habit of putting the x term first. So it's negative 4x minus 1. Then again, this is a minus 1. And again here you can multiply by negative 1 to change that y into positive. So it's y equals 4x plus 1. At this point, you look at the slope. That's a 4. This is a 4. So the lines could be parallel because the slopes are the same. But now let me look at the y-intercept. Since the y's are different, the y-intercepts are different, then it's not going to be coincide. Coincide means same slope, same y-intercepts. So this is just parallel because the y-intercepts are different. So this is C, parallel. Any questions on numbers 1, 2, or 3?
Explain
Yes.
it again.
If the lines are coincide means it's the same line. Same slopes, same y-intercepts.
Also has to equal to,
If you look at the slopes are the same. So they could be parallel, they could be coincide, one of those two. Now, if I check to see if they're coincide, I have to look at the y-intercept. They have to be exactly the same thing. Since they're not the same thing, then they're just parallel.
okay.
Got it? Great. Okay. Now, next problem. Problem number 4 says determine using the slopes. So you got to use the slopes. So you have to find the slopes to determine if the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So here, let me go ahead and just find the slope of AB, slope of AB. And I label my points. Let me just make this a little bigger. In a way where I can use. Okay, so here you go. So it's x1, y1, this is x2, and this is y2. And then you follow the formula for the slope. The formula for the slope is the change of y's over the change of x. So you substitute the values. That would be 7 minus 5 over negative 2 minus 3. Then you simplify that, and that is 2 divided by negative 5. So that's the slope of the line AB. Then I get the slope of the second one. So it's the slope of CD. I label my points x1, y1, x2, and y2. Then I just substitute those values into the slope formula. And that would be 15 minus 5 divided by 10 minus 6. When you simplify, that would be 10 divided by 10 minus 6 is 4. Then that number, you need to simplify it, and that would be 5 over 2. Now you compare both slopes. This is negative 2 over 5, and this is positive 5 over 2. What type of slopes are these two? They're perpendicular. Why? Well, because they're negative reciprocal of each other. This is negative, this is positive. 2/5, this is 5/2. So it's perpendicular. And that's the answer, which is letter B. So the answers were C, 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 B. Now, for problem number 5. In number 5 says, write the slope-intercept form of the equation. For the slope-intercept form, I need the slope, which is the M, and the intercept, which is the B. The slope, well, I have to run from one point till I get to the other point. And let me see, I can see this. Okay, first of all, the y-intercept is 3. Now, if I go to one point, I'm choosing negative 3, negative 4. If I go up, how many units do I need to go up to get 7? Okay. And then I move to the right, how many units? 3. So then the slope is 7 over 3. Just put it into the equation. So the equation would be y equals 7/3 x and then plus 3. And Roman and Victoria, do you see what the mistake was? Was that the problem? That's what it was. So both of you had that. Okay, so I need to go back. Okay, number 6. In problem number 6, same thing. Well, first of all, what is the slope of a line that is horizontal? It's 0. So the slope is 0. And what is the y-intercept? That would be negative 2. So when you write the equation, that would be y equals 0x minus 2. And some of you put y equals negative 2 because that's a simplified form, and that would be right. That would be correct also. Okay. You just put y equals not x because x goes up and down. That's a vertical line. It has to be y equals, because it passes through the y-axis, and that's negative 2. Yes. Okay, number 7. In number 7, it says write the equation in slope-intercept form. Okay, slope-intercept form, we're talking about M and B. Well, first of all, I can put that into the point-slope form. The point-slope form, it's y equals M parentheses x minus h plus k. If you remember the steps that we went through, is step 1, find the slope. We already have the slope. Step 2, put it into the point-slope form. Put a point and the slope into the point-slope form. And step 3, simplify. So we're at step 2 right now. I can just plug in the numbers. This would be the h, and that's the k. So when I put that into the formula, that would be 4/5 parentheses x minus 5. That would be plus 5. And then plus k, which is minus 4. Then you distribute. Okay, when you distribute, you're going to have y equals 4/5 x. Oh, so this was the 1, Victoria. This was the 1, okay. So the second one, let me put the 5 over 1 and multiply the top with the top, bottom with the bottom. So 4 times 5 is 20. 5 times 1 is 5. Then you simplify that. 20 divided by 5 is 4. So that would be 4/5 x. And this is minus 4. Is that a plus? It's a plus 4. Thank you. Plus 4 minus 4. Then that plus 4 minus 4 cancel each other. And that would be the equation. So it would be y equals, you could put 4/5 x by itself, or you can put the plus 0, because that cancels out because of the slope-intercept form. Any questions on number 7? So far, so good. Number 8. This is the same way. H, K, y equals negative 8, parentheses, x minus 1, and then minus 3, you distribute. And that would be negative 8x. Negative times negative is positive 8, minus 3. Then you simplify that. So it's negative 8x plus 5. And that's the equation. Sure. Number 9, number 10, those two, they're giving you the y-intercept. So those two are the same way. They're giving you the b, they're giving you the slope. Well, not the slope. We have to find the slope. So for number 9, let me find the slope. The formula is y equals x1, y1, x2, y2. I'm labeling the points first so that I can put it into the slope formula. So that is 1 minus 3 over 0 minus 1. And then you simplify. What is 1 minus 3? Negative 2, and 0 minus 1? You mean negative 1? Then negative divided by negative is positive, right? Positive 2. Now, that's my slope. Now, isn't it 0, 1, the y-intercept? Right? That is just the b. So, there you go. That's going to be the equation. The equation would be y equals, the slope is 2, and the y-intercept is 1. Number 10 is practically the same thing. Okay. Number 11. Number 11, we need to find the slope. So we have to apply the three steps. Find the slope, that's step 1. Step 2, put the point and the slope, any point, any of the two, into the slope point-slope form. And step 3, simplify. So, find the slope. I label my points x1, y1, x2, y2. So y2 is negative 1, minus y1 is negative 3. x2 is negative 3, minus x1 is negative 1. And this is negative 4 over negative 4. And what is negative 4 divided by negative 4? You mean positive 1? So positive 1. Now, this one I cannot do like number 9 and number 10. I have to put into the point-slope form. And the point-slope form is y equals m parentheses x minus h plus k. I put in the numbers. I'm going to use the x1, y1. So it would be y equals 1 parentheses x minus h, and I'm using the first point, so that's minus 1, plus k, which is 3. Any questions up to that step? So far, so good. Then we distribute. So it would be y equals x minus 1 plus 3. You simplify, and that would be x plus 2. And that's the answer. Y equals x plus 2. Number 12 is basically the same thing. Okay, you do the 3 steps. So step 1. Okay, if you want to put a little note, let me put a little note with different color. Okay. That is so light. Okay, so this is step 1. This is step 2. And simplifying is step 3. Now, I know that some of you got very good grades on this quiz, and I'm going to continue with this quiz. But just so you know, the assignment that I'm going to assign you along with the corrections of this quiz, let me put it over here so that way you get that copy. And if you don't have to do many corrections because you almost got 100 on the quiz, and this is the assignment that I'm adding. So if you could please add that. The assignment for tonight is page 202. And if you want to start right now, I recommend that you do. And if you have at least 2 of these 4 pages, then I'll stamp that because it's an assignment grade, okay? So it's page 202, 1 through 9, page 203, numbers 10 through 17, 10 through 17, page 204 is numbers 18 through 23, and on page 205, that is numbers 30 through 35. Okay? So that would be the assignment. So if you want to start working, some of you, those who have high 80s or A's, 90 something, you can start working on that. Okay? As for everybody, right? As for the rest of you who still need the corrections, let me go over the second page. Okay? Any questions so far? So far, so good? Okay.